Well, good morning, grand rising, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what time of the day it is for you, where you are joining me from. I am so excited to see everyone here this morning, and it is my intention that you will invite others here this morning. I am Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a coach, educator, speaker, and I am also an authentic broadcaster. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you. You're probably asking, what kind of education does Dr. Daphne provide? She provides you the education that will prepare you to be comfortable enough to accept and tap into your soul purpose. Each and every one of us is born into this world for a specific purpose. And I have accepted this task and the responsibility to keep guiding you so that you are not missing out on anything. All right? So let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's get ready to get some powerful information. Today's topic will be, don't you quit on yourself yet. Don't you quit on yourself yet. This morning we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitch, we are on Twitter, and we are on StreamYard. So I want you to get ready to be actively involved and participating. At the end, there will be an opportunity for you to ask your questions. If I do not have your answers, and if Spirit doesn't see it fit to answer your questions, you won't get an answer. So, those who are ready, I want you to put ready in the chat. All right? For those of you on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, you can put your comments in the comment section. Those of you on TikTok, my moderators will be there to guide you on what to do. So you're probably saying to yourself, why the topic about quitting, not quitting on yourself yet? We are living in a time when mental health is on the rise. People are isolating themselves, and some even unliving themselves. And a lot of times you're thinking, thank you for the roses. A lot of times you are thinking, oh my God, that person was so happy when I see them online. I made this statement and I go back to the guy on that used to be on Ellen's show. And that was a shocker because he brought so much joy in people's lives and everybody thought he had it together. Yet he was here 1 minute and gone the next. So we need to be here for each other. We need to be here to support each other. Because we never know what folks are going through. And pride and ego prevents people from reaching out and asking for help. So it is my responsibility, as the Spirit shows me that there are people in my community who are struggling. I am grateful to Spirit for telling me what to speak on that will shed some light and guidance to all of the people who comes under the sound of my voice, whether live or via the recording that they will retrieve later on. So let us start with the first step. Again, if you just joined the live, the topic today is don't quit on yourself yet. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Doesn't matter how dark it seems right now, but don't you quit on yourself yet. All right? Now, let us start off by understanding the importance of persistence. Each and everything that we do in life, we need to be persistent. Those of you who have been part of my community for a long time, I think it was back in 1999 or something, I gave out a free gift, the 9 P's to success. And I know one of those P's is the P of persistence. So you need to be persistent in everything you are doing. How are you feeling in yourself? Take a look. We got to be ready to assess and evaluate ourselves. That bad feeling, that negative feeling, that low feeling, that feeling of anxiety, that feeling of anger, that feeling of disappointment. How persistent is it? How long has it been lingering around with you? Is it just there once in a while? Or it's been there a long time? If that's you, the persistence of this thing is telling you something is wrong. Stop pushing it down. Stop covering it up. Call somebody that you can confide in. Call someone, speak to them, and let them know what it is that you are experiencing. Let them know that it is bringing you some discomfort. I just began noticing it, and you say how long you have been noticing it. But no matter what I do, I just cannot shift this. Let me tell you something. You and I are not the only ones that go through these disappointments. You hear about affluent people, successful people. People who you think have it all together. And all of a sudden, you hear something that happened, and all of a sudden, they give up and quit on themselves. And the bad thing about it, the actions they took is so drastic that they are not around to get the needed help so that they can see a turnaround. So it doesn't matter what it is you are going through. I need you to look at the persistence and reach out and ask for help. Every one of us face obstacles in our lives every day. We lose relationships, we lose jobs, our health deteriorates, our business goes belly up, and the list goes on. There are so many different obstacles. Those of us who are parents, we go through struggles with our children. It doesn't matter what obstacles you are facing. It is not the end of the world. People face obstacles every day. We got to look at the obstacles and said, you know something? Come hell or high waters, I am going to get through this. I'm going to preserve to the end. I am going to persevere to the end. Just watch me come through this. Watch me come through this. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm willing to give it all that I have. Number 2, you need to pay attention to the roadblocks that is coming up in your life. Pay attention. Some people will say, you know something? Life is not worth living. I just cannot get ahead. I try to get a new apartment. Every time I put in an application, I get turned down. I try to get a loan. I just can't make a way. I try to get a job. I just cannot get away. What are the roadblocks that is showing up for you? Take a note of those roadblocks. Because no matter how severe they look, no matter how severe they look, there is a lesson there for you to learn. And I'm telling you from personal experience, once you begin to pay attention to the roadblocks and learn the lessons from those roadblocks, you realize that once you learn the lesson and you approach that same thing again, because you learned the lesson, you are now in position of the key that will open the door. More than likely, the first time the approach was not right. something about that was not right. So if you had gone through that door at that particular time, things would not work out for you. But the minute you learn the lesson from the roadblocks, you become now the prime candidate for something that you thought was not for you in the beginning. Ask yourself as you identify the roadblocks, how am I contributing to this? Is my self-doubt getting in my way? You know, many of us as humans, we are on our way to do something, and then all of a sudden, the naysayer inside of us pops its ugly head, and we now begin to doubt ourselves. Why am I going after this? I don't really know anybody who did it. I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm not even going to bother. You doubt yourself. You sabotage yourself. You think you're not good enough. And you find a whole lot of reasons why you are not good enough. Failure of success pop up in your head. You lack motivation. You look outside for all of the pressures and barriers that will prevent you from succeeding. Something happened in your life from you were 3 years old. All of a sudden, now you're 33. And all of a sudden, something happened, triggers that. And that's what you're using not to go ahead. Stop doubting yourselves. You make an attempt, you make an effort to do something, give it your all. It doesn't matter how many times you need to do it to get it right. Do it. And keep doing it until you get it right. You got to understand that starting is better than perfect. Start it. It will never be perfect, but it will improve. Every effort we get, every effort we give it, it will improve. Number 3, before you quit on yourself, you have to understand what it means to build resilience. Building resilience is so important in our lives. How are you able to bounce back? Where do you find your bounce back ability? The one sure thing I can tell you, we will always be knocked down in life if it is even one time. If it is even one time, we are going to be knocked down. Are we courageous enough to grab onto something and to get up? My friend Les Brown always say, when you get knocked down, make sure you're looking up. You're not, don't do what you can to turn over on your back so you can still look up to the sky. Because when you are looking up, you know you are going to gain the energy to get up. When you are laying on your face, you have given up. But when you are looking up, like Maya Angelou says, you will rise. You will always rise. So do what you can when you are knocked down to keep looking up. You can build your resilience. Look through your life and see what energizes you. If you are not an avid reader, get an audiobook that you can play on your phone. It will help you to build your resilience. There are so many amazing teachers that you can listen to their DVDs, their YouTube videos, their podcasts, their live stream. People who have been in the gutter and they get up again and they're making a difference in the world. Listen to those people. Use their experiences to help you to energize yourself to build your resilience. Being knocked down does not mean that you stay down. While you are laying there on your back, use that time to rest and keep your inner man active. God, I know you got this. God, I know you got me. Right now I'm laying down, but I know you're going to send somebody that is going to extend a hand to me to lift me up. But unless you know that you need to get up, you are going to lay there and you are going to give up on yourself. And the reason why it is important to be looking up, once you are looking up, you are going to be alert about everything that's going by you. So nobody, no negativity is going to want to kick you. Because you are awake and alert and alive. By laying and looking up, you're extending your hands. And the universe is going to send somebody to help you up. Out of nowhere, you're going to feel somebody grab you and say, sister, get up. Brother, get up. You got this. You got this. You have so much more in you. We need you. The world is depending on you. It doesn't matter what you have been through. We want you. We need you. Now that you wake up, you have a new mindset. You have a renewed mindset. Because in order for you to develop strong resilience, you got to have a renewed mind. The same mindset you had when you were knocked down, you cannot have the same mindset now. You got to renew your mind. You need a renewed mind. You can't be walking the same walk. You need a more energetic step. Because what? As you build your resilience, you now have a story to tell. You now have a story to tell. You can now say, hey, look at me. 2 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, I was, and you name out what's the story. But look at me now. Look at me now. And as you tell your story of resilience, I'm listening to your story and I'm looking inside and I'm saying, I have a similar story. My story is not that bad. If Rose can do it, so can I. I reach out to Rose and I said, Rose, I heard you talk about how you got up off your feet. Can you share a few pointers with me where I start? Rose might say, listen, girl, I got this book. I listened to this. I did that. This is what I did. I got me a coach. I got me a mentor. I begin to believe in myself. And you know how people was telling me that I'm this, that, and the other? I no longer believe those things. I realized, girl, that I was my biggest stumbling block. And you know what? I did not realize that I was standing in my way until I was knocked down. And I was laying there and I was thinking, how did I get knocked down? And something said to me, you gave up on yourself. All those times you were saying that somebody's in your way, that somebody is you. And the light bulb went off, girl. And the minute that light bulb went off was when I saw a hand out of nowhere yank me up off the ground. And I've been standing on my feet ever since. Girl, I'm telling you, you got to renew your mind. And that's all I can tell you. But I know if I can do it, so can you. And you now have a renewed mind. You have a new growth mindset. You don't have a mindset of defeat. You have a new mindset of abundance and resilience. You start singing, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on the move. Ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. Because you know who you are. You block out all of the naysayers. You're awoke. You have resilience in your step. And you know where you are going. Number 4. As you think about remaining and not quitting on yourself, you say to yourself, listen, I'm in this for the long haul. Let me think about shifting my perspective. I know for 20 years I've been thinking this, that, that. Let me take a few minutes. Let me go buy a journal. Let me go to the dollar store and pick up some highlighter and some marker and some pen. And let me start write some things down. I'm going to write them the way they were. I'm going to write them the way they are now. But above all, I want to know right where they can go. You are now beginning to change the perspective of your situation. Are you with me? You got to begin to shift this perspective. You got to reframe all of the obstacles and the setbacks that has been in your life. You got to now look at them not as obstacles and setback, but you can look and say, this is some valuable lesson I learned during that time. Oh, thank you, universe. I never thought over those 30 years that I was in school. I was in universal school because it's not until I wrote these things down that I'm now seeing the lessons in them. Thank you, universe. That's why it is so important to write things down. It is so important to write things down. When you keep things in your head and inside of you, you don't learn nothing. The minute you write things down, get a pen, get a journal, get an exercise or a composition book. Those of you who can invest in a journal, fine. I like journals. But it really don't matter. I need you to write it down, because once you write things down, you begin to learn the lesson, and it gives you an opportunity to shift the perspective of what's going on in your life. Again, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. You cannot see the picture when you are in the frame. You got to step out of the frame so that you can admire the true beauty. And that picture is you. You got to step out so you can see your own beauty. You have to be your strongest advocate as you begin to be shifting this perspective. You might not have a coach yet. You might not have a mentor yet. You might not have an accountability partner yet. You got to be all of those things for you. You got to advocate for yourself where you are until you reposition yourself to go further. You got to shift your perspective so that you can go the distance. There are so many opportunities that awaits us. We got to stop walking around with a blindfold on. We got to begin to walk around with X-rated vision so we won't miss anything. We got to walk around with our antennas up so we don't miss anything. In order for you to move ahead, you got to learn to shift your perspective. Stop looking at things in only one way. Look at things 100 different ways. You got to be like the home cooks. You see those home cooks that is going on those shows. A lot of times, the qualified chefs, they go in blindfold, and what happened? They underestimate the home cooks. And what happened? The home cooks walk out of there with the big prizes, yes? Because they shift their perspective and they said to themselves, I know I didn't go to culinary school, but I know. Let me tell you something. The biggest culinary chef I know is my grandmama. And I'm going up to that show. I'm going to pull out my grandmama recipe. I'm going to call on my ancestors. And I'm going to say, listen, you all better come cook with me today, because I'm up against the big guns. And listen, when the ancestors come out and to help you to put that thing together, even you shock your own self. And those high guns, they don't ever know what hit them. We got to do the same thing in our everyday lives. When we shift our perspective, we got to call in spirit. We have these things available to us. Why are we so caught up and tied up in religion, and we forget all the power we have within us? The universe is not partial. The universe don't care if you're gay, lesbian, bi, black, white, blue, pink, yellow. The universe don't care. The universe knows that you are human and will give us the best. So begin to work on your perspective and watch things turn around for you. Take your focus off your neighbor. Your neighbor is doing what they're supposed to do. That's why their light is shining so brightly. But you're so caught on being jealous and envious. That's why you can't see all the power that is within you. Number 5. Before you think about quitting and exit out of here, I want you to consider cultivating self-compassion. Sit back, breathe, sit back, breathe, be courageous enough to go inside of you. Instead of ripping and tearing yourself apart for the few mistakes you have made, I want you to now look and go inside and see the amazing queen, the amazing king that you are. Begin to select all of your high qualities. And you know what you are going to notice? All of your high qualities outnumber the few little mistakes you have made. Begin to love on you. Begin to tell yourself that I have so many important things that I need to accomplish in life. I have so many high qualities that I can use to help to empower others. I am a kind person. I'm a loving person. I'm a respectable person. I want to use this time to celebrate me. I have such a bright light around me. Everywhere I go, I brings a smile to everybody's face. I am always the life of the party. Go inside to cultivate self-compassion. It doesn't matter what you have gone through. What you have gone through is an experience. Your beginning is not your end. Where you start is not where you finish. But you have to understand, in order to cultivate self-compassion, you got to first understand, how am I going to love and forgive myself no matter what? How am I going to love and forgive myself no matter what others in my family is saying to me? Neighbors, co-workers. Because many of those people will do their best for you not to forget the little mistake you make. Every day, every opportunity they get, they remind you about it. You got to be your strongest advocate. You got to be the one who forgive yourselves and love on you. You are going to be victorious. It doesn't matter what you have gone through. You will be victorious. Again, all of our experiences are lessons learned, and we need to look on them as such. We need to look on them as such. So you can become victorious whenever you decide it's time for your victory. Don't ever become a victim. Become a victor. Always seek for ways that you can be thriving. Not surviving, but thriving. And as you honor yourself in those ways, you will begin to feel stronger. You'll be more compassionate towards yourself. And once you cultivate self-compassion, you are no longer looking outside for other people's approval. Number 6, we are going to begin to build, to set attainable goals. Because now you begin to see your way. What's your vision for your path? What is it you want to work towards? I was reading a story a few months ago. I think the lady is from Texas. I think she has 5 children. And she lost her, I don't know if it's her husband or the children's father. I think to cancer or something. And she had the children, and she was really struggling. She was knocked down. She was homeless. And she was really going through a challenging time. And the story says that she went to a church service, and it was a female preacher, and the female preacher had a word for her. I don't know if anybody else read this story. It was her first time at the church. And the preacher said to her, God gave me a word for you. God says you need to go back to school and get your GED, because that lawyer that you wanted to become is going to happen. The first time she went to the church, as I read the article, it did not say that she went back to the church. But you know what? She went, got the GED, went to law school, and she and the children was graduating, because it brought tears to my eyes and joy to my heart when I was reading it, because each of the children had a plaque and said, I contributed. The oldest son said he started by preparing snack for the younger siblings so his mother could study. He started cooking, and then as they grew up, they started doing things for each other so their mother could study. And then when the mother was going for the finals, they be a mock jury for the mother. I tell you, I was crying like a baby. So I don't know what your goals are in life. That might be you. You might have something that you put on the back burner. You might have wanted to become a physician, a pharmacist, a restaurant owner. Whatever it is that you place on the back burner, I want you to take that thing off. Blow the dust off of it and give it a go. It's time for you to reset your goals. Get help to accomplish them. Get help to accomplish your goals. It doesn't matter how big they are. And stop telling people what you're working on. Because guess what? They are envious, they are jealous, even on these social media streets. Stop spilling your guts. Get your coach, get your mentor. Get your accountability partner. Find 1 or 2 people that you can confide in and share your goals with them. You don't have to post everything on social media. Because the haters are there watching to pop out. And let me tell you something. Energy is energy. And people can be over there projecting their negativity on you, and it can rob you of your positive energy. If you don't believe me, ask any a kineologist who works on energy, and they will tell you that that is right. I don't just be saying things because I want to talk. I'm saying things to get you spiritually awoke. You all need to get out of religion and understand what spiritual awakeness means. You got to know that when you go into prayer to consult with the universe already know what you want. Instead of keep begging and begging God, God already know, begin to give thanks. Because God knows what you need. God doesn't have short memory. God is not forgetful. So, once you go and acknowledge what it is you're working on, start to give gratitude. Be in thankfulness. Be grateful for it. As you continue to work on your goals, you look on it, you say, that old mindset I had when I started going to Sunday school, I got to revamp that, and I got to get into something new. My entire life is going to be about mindfulness. I'm going to get into some meditation practices. I'm going to be doing gratitude journaling. I'm going to be walking more outside barefoot so I can get in touch with Mother Gaia. I can balance myself. I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to supercharge my water. I'm going to speak my intention in my water, and I'm going to consume it. I'm going to be still. I'm going to begin to breathe deep more. I'm going to learn to quiet my mind. These are all the new goals I want for myself. I know nobody else in my family meditates, but they are not my responsibility. I am my responsibility. I'm working on me. I know my husband or my wife is not into meditation, but I'm getting into it. Because as I grow, they will probably see something in me and want to ask me how to do it. And even if they don't, that's all right. You are your responsibility. They have to work on themselves. When we set our goals, there is something known as SMART goals. The goals need to be specific. The goals have to be measurable. Let me make sure I remember it. SMART, SM, specific, measurable, accurate, and realistic. And we have to have time frame or time bound on it. Anybody out there who knows about SMART goals, you can probably write it in the chat. Or you could go on the internet and research what SMART goals is. how it is broken down. I'm not here working on goal setting this morning, but I wanted to to drop that in. All right. Number 7. Now you are at the finish line. Aren't you glad you didn't quit on yourself? Aren't you glad you stuck around? Because now you can say to yourself, yes, I overcame all of those obstacles. Yes, I did it. I did it. There was a time when I never thought I would have made it. There was a time when everything was so dark. I never know I would have seen the light of day again. Yes, I made it. And you get your happy dance on. You get your happy dance on, whatever your dance is. You twerk, whatever your dance is. But you get your happy dance on. Because you overcame those obstacles. And whether or not you overcame them all, you're in the midst of overcoming them. You are now seeing a bright light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have any desire to quit on you. You don't have any more desire to be tolerant of the things that does not serve your highest good. You don't have any other desires of being manipulated. You have no more desire of being used. You have no more desire of being a doormat for people. You have no more desire of being used. You have found yourself. You can now boldly speak up for yourself. You can now say to yourself, I know what I want, and what it is you are suggesting is not part of what I desire for me. That is probably what you want, but that is not on my list of priorities. Now you're standing with your shoulders tall. Now you have self-respect. You honor you because you are no longer walking around with all of those baggages. You overcame all of those obstacles that people tell you was going to be part of your life. And guess what? You don't have to go look for them to tell them, because you know that they are going to be seeing you. But guess what? Can I tell you a secret? All the people who had said to you that you will never make it, they are now the ones that say, yeah, I always know you are going to be great. I see somebody ask, how do we get in touch with you? Okay, I'm going to be telling you that, but you know what? Wait, I'm going to end last on TikTok because I was glancing on some powerful comments and I want to come over there and yes, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant time. Yes, thank you for doing smart goals. I will tell you that my information is in my bio, but wait, I'm coming over there. I'm not going to end over there. I'm going to end on all of the other platforms, and I'm going to do TikTok last. But to answer a quick question, my phone number is 203-885-5093. But wait, I have something I'm going to I will be talking about at the end as well. So, yes, and just to conclude, I want to just quickly go over each area that I went through, and I invite you guys to go to my linktree.dynamicdaphne, and you can go to all of my platforms. You'll be able to catch all of the replays on YouTube. You won't miss anything once you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, for those of you that came a little late, and these are the reasons why you want to be part of my YouTube, we talk about understanding the importance of persistence. We talk about identifying the roadblocks. We spoke about building resilience. We talk about shifting perspective. We talk about cultivating self-compassion. We talk about setting goals, setting attainable goals. We talk about overcoming obstacles. Those are the areas that I covered. Now, does anybody have any questions? And while you're writing your questions, I want for you to order my book, Conversation on Success. You order it from me directly. You can pay, it's $19.95 plus shipping and handling of $6. And you can pay me through Cash App. My Cash App is in my bio. I'll autograph it and mail it out to you. Once you pay with Cash App, you put your information in there so I know how to mail it out to you. The next thing I wanted to share with you that I told you to wait for, go to my website, daphneclarke.com, and you will see an event that is coming up on Friday and Saturday night. I have a master class, the transformative master class on forgiveness. Let me flip. Ooh, what did I do here? Let me flip my let me flip the camera so you can do a screenshot. It is on my website. Here it is. The transformative masterclass on forgiveness. Get a screenshot, and it is on some of the videos right there on my TikTok. So get your screenshot, guys. And all right. So the it is a 2.5 hours masterclass on Zoom. It is for anyone who is looking to understand about forgiveness. Listen, even if you don't think about forgiving anybody, the first person on the list is supposed to be ourselves, because once we forgive ourselves, we begin to open up a multitude of doors. All right, the top 5 benefits that we will get from attending. We get emotional liberation, healing and inner peace, improved relationships, empowerment and self-growth, enhanced well-being and happiness. The master class again is 2.5 hours. This session, the next section will be the 22nd and 23rd of September. You need to register to attend. Go to my website, daphneclarke.com, and you can register from there. Remember, any questions? Did I miss any question? If you had a question over on TikTok, type it so I can you're Clarke too. Wonderful. Where are you from? You from Jamaica? Me too. Where in Jamaica you from? My father was from Kilmarnock, Painstown. That is too funny. We probably related. Montego Bay? Oh, that's where my son lived. I used to be a nurse in Montego Bay. Oh, my heavens. Any questions? All right. Any questions so I can end on the other platform? But tell me any questions. I'm not ending on TikTok yet. I want to end over on YouTube and stuff. All right, so there are no questions. Repeat your phone number. Okay, my phone number is in my profile. Just hit on my profile for appointment. Okay, I'm coming over on TikTok. Don't leave yet. All right, so thank you, YouTube. Thank you, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, StreamYard. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. I look forward in seeing you on the next broadcast. Thank you. Bye.